Good morning, and welcome to today's news discussion. I'm Claire.
And I'm Alan. We'll be covering several key stories today, starting with rising tensions in the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran's Joint Military Command has warned that all oil tankers moving through the Strait of Hormuz must use its approved routes or face a forceful response. The statement was aired on Iranian state television.
That's a significant escalation. Can you explain why the Strait of Hormuz is so crucial?
The Strait of Hormuz is a vital waterway for international energy supplies. A large portion of the world's oil passes through it, making it a critical choke point for global oil markets.
I see. So what are the implications of Iran's warning for oil tankers?
If tankers don't follow Iran's approved routes, they might face a forceful response, which could lead to increased tensions and potential conflict in the region.
That sounds like a serious threat. Have there been any recent incidents involving oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz?
The reporting doesn't specify recent incidents, but it does mention that tensions have been ratcheting up over the waterway.
Rising tensions there could have significant global economic impacts. What's the international response been so far?
The articles don't detail specific international responses, but it's likely that other countries and organizations are closely monitoring the situation.
Let's move on to a different story. The Meghalaya government has approached the Supreme Court to challenge the bail granted to Sonam Raghuvanshi, accused of murdering her husband during their honeymoon.
That's right. The High Court had granted bail to Sonam Raghuvanshi, citing a minor error in supplying arrest documents.
What are the grounds on which the Meghalaya government is challenging this bail?
The state argues that the High Court erred in its decision, pointing out the risk of the accused absconding and citing a typographical error in the grounds of arrest.
I understand. So the government's main concern is that Sonam Raghuvanshi might flee.
Exactly. The Solicitor General argued that the bail was granted based on a minor procedural error, raising concerns about her potentially absconding.
The Supreme Court has agreed to hear the plea urgently. What does that suggest about the case?
It suggests that the court considers the case serious enough to warrant expedited consideration, possibly due to the severity of the crime and the public interest.
Let's shift to another story. It's been 1,000 days since a Hamas-led attack on Israel sparked the war in Gaza.
Yes, and the situation remains dire. Israeli forces now control over half of Gaza, and both Israelis and Palestinians are weary of the strain.
The reporting mentions that other conflicts have emerged in the region. Can you elaborate on that?
The articles indicate that fragile ceasefires are showing scars of persistent attacks, and the fate of over 2 million Palestinians in Gaza remains uncertain.
What's the current humanitarian situation like in Gaza?
The reporting doesn't provide detailed humanitarian statistics, but it implies that the prolonged conflict has had a significant impact on the civilian population.
Moving on, U.S. President Donald Trump's attacks on Italy's premier have had an unintended consequence. European leaders are rallying to her side.
That's right. After Trump questioned Italy's reliability as a wartime ally and claimed Giorgia Meloni had groveled for his attention, European leaders closed ranks around her.
That's interesting. What does this say about the dynamics between Trump and European leaders?
It appears that Trump's comments had the opposite effect of what he might have intended, instead strengthening European solidarity with Meloni.
So this incident might have thawed what had been a frosty relationship over Meloni's hard-right political roots.
Exactly. The reporting suggests that European leaders rallied to Meloni's side, potentially improving her standing within Europe.
Let's discuss another story. Russia launched a massive drone and missile attack on Kyiv, killing at least 20 civilians and injuring many more.
Yes, Moscow said the assault was in retaliation for Ukrainian strikes on Russian oil facilities. The attack lasted 11 hours overnight into Thursday morning.
That sounds like a significant escalation. What's the current situation in Kyiv?
The reporting indicates widespread damage and a high number of casualties, with the attack being one of the most intense of the year so far.
How have Ukrainian strikes on Russian oil facilities impacted the situation?
The Ukrainian strikes seem to have prompted Moscow's retaliatory attack on Kyiv, indicating a cycle of escalation between the two sides.
It's clear that the conflict is having severe humanitarian consequences. What's the international response been to these latest developments?
The articles don't detail specific international responses, but it's likely that the international community is closely watching the situation and considering its next steps.
As we've covered several significant stories today, it's clear that global tensions are running high across multiple regions.
Indeed, from the Strait of Hormuz to Gaza and Ukraine, there are numerous flashpoints that could have far-reaching implications.
Well, that's all for today's discussion. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Alan. Until next time.